and welcome to the Lone Board Gamer. My name is Thomas, and today I'm going to play Black Forest, designed by Rosenberg and Tido Lorenz, and published by Capstone Games. Now, Black Forest is a classic Rosenberg game. It's all about collecting resources, managing your resources, activating action spots out here on the board, buying some buildings, and of course trying to score some victory points. We have the board here in the center of the table. We see all these worker placement spots that are arranged in these villages, and each of these worker placement spots are surrounded by two tradespeople, I think they're called. So when you take your turn, you place your worker down on a space, and you activate both of the tradespeople, the tradespersons that are next to it. So you get two actions during your turn. And also we have a lot of buildings. We have, I think, 36 small buildings, 4 large buildings, so 40 buildings in total that we're going to try to construct at least some of them during the game. They are all double-sided, as you can see. So in the beginning, during setup, you take, well, you can play with them all on the normal side, but after you've done that a few games, the rules suggest that you take 10 at random and turn them over to the B side, making them a little bit different, not necessarily more advanced, but at least just a little bit different. So you have a lot of variety in the games that you play. Now, also, in the players tableau here, we have the, I don't know if I can zoom in maybe, there it is. We have these rondels. Now these rondels are used for managing your resources. You might recognize it from Glass Road, which is also designed by Rosenberg. So this is where you manage all your resources. Now let's take this left one, for example. We can see here that I have 0 sand, I have a charcoal, I have 2 water, and I have 3 wood, and I have, that's like the basic resources, and I have 0 glass, which is a sort of refined resource. Now we have these, we also have these dials here on the rondel, and this means that I produce glass automatically. So when I have at least one of each of the basic resources, I automatically produce a glass. So if I acquire a sand like this, these dials automatically shift. There we go. And then we can see we have one less of each resource now, basic resource, but now we have one glass resource. And the same also for the other rondel. It's just other resources. Here we have porridge, meat, and another charcoal. And we use those resources to produce provisions, which are these yellow ones, and commodities. And we'll come back to what all these resources do and what we use them for. Now we also have this little estate here. You start with this basic estate, which has your glass factory. It has some fields, some ponds, some forests that we can use to get resources and stuff. We can also, there are some empty spaces where we can put additional forests or fields, ponds, and pastures, and all kinds of stuff, and of course also buildings. And during the game, we'll also be able to get more of these estates. Now, when it's your turn, you take your worker and you place it on a spot, activating the 2 spots that is adjacent to your worker. Then it's the next player's turn, and then when it's your turn again, you have to move to a different spot. Now, it can be a different spot in the same village. You don't have to pay anything extra for that. But if you want to move to another village, if you want to travel, like if you want to travel over here through this road, you have to pay these provisions here. So if I want to go here, I have to pay 1 provision. Now, next turn I might want to go all the way up here. I have to pay 2 provisions in order to use this spot. Of course, you can't go on spots where other players are. And I'm playing the solo game today. So the solo game is a little bit different. I use all 5 player pieces. I place it around. I place it around the villages here, and when I place a worker and using that, then the next worker I place, I go from where I placed last. So the next worker, the blue one for example, I will put it here, paying 1 provision, and then maybe I want to go back here. Then I have to pay another provision because I have to pay from where I put down my last worker. There's also a rule here in Black Forest that if you place a worker in a village where there are other workers present, you have to pay. You have to pay 1 basic resource. And basic resources can be any of these 4 or these 3 here, to all the players present. Now, of course, in the solo game there's only me, so I just pay it out to the supply. I do that with all my workers except for the white worker. This white worker is special, so if I place my white worker in a village where other workers are present, I don't have to pay anything. So that is pretty nice. Now that was like the general overview, and I think we'll just get started, and then I'll explain the the details as we see them. So for our first turn, maybe one last thing I should say. During setup, I put out these tradespeople here, and they are random. Well, they are semi-random because they all have a particular backside here that has to be put down on special fields. So this reindeer symbol has to be on a spot with the reindeer symbol, and the owl and the wolf and whatever we have out here. So it's a random, but it's not totally random. So it's just seated in a way. And I play with this configuration. I play 5 rounds during the solo games, and after round 3, I switch all these up to get some variety. Also, because at the beginning of a turn, you can spend a commodity. The commodity are these cyan colored resources here. I can spend a commodity to switch this particular traits person, which is like the traits wagon or something. I can't quite remember the name of it. You could switch this with any of these other tiles here. So maybe at the beginning of my turn I want to switch this with this one, and then I don't have to use either. I don't have to use any of the spots related to those. I probably will, because that's why I did it. But so during the game, especially during a multiplayer game, there will be switched up a bit of these tiles. Okay, I think we should just get started. So I will start with one of my workers. And what do I want to do to begin with? I think actually I would like to... I think I want to make some more ponds, because ponds are great. Ponds are used, they can be constructed here, and they can be used for collecting sand, and I want some sand because I want to be able to make this glass, because glass is used in a lot of these buildings. So I will take one of my workers, and I guess I will put it right here. So I get to activate this one. I can just turn it over so you can see a little bit better. I can pay a brick to get a pond, or I can get 1 water resource per pond that I have. Well, I think actually I want to build a pond, so I will spend a brick. As you can see, bricks is a standard resource, but it's not part of these rondels. It's not used for manufacturing any of the other resources. So I just spend a brick, and I will get a pond. And I will place that pond somewhere here on my estate. It doesn't really matter where I put it, so I'll just put it right there. And I will use this charcoal guy, spend a wood in order to get some charcoal. I'll get 4 charcoal. There it is. Right. It's so easy. That's the turns. Pretty easy, understandable actions. So the next one, I think I will actually go up here in order to get some sand. So I think we can get some sand, and also we maybe we should chop down a forest. That could be quite nice, I think. So let's try going here. So to begin with, I have to spend a provision because I moved from this village to this village. Now you can see I have 2 provision counters here, and I choose which one I use. It's just so that I can have more than 3 provision resources. So I will just spend this one, and I will gain 3 sand. 1, 2, 3, and immediately this dial goes up like this. So now I have produced 2 glass, and I've lost 2 of my other resources. And note, this is mandatory. I have to do this. I have to do this as soon as I can. Imagine that there's a small spring in this, so it kind of has to move when it can. Right, then I could use this action field. This is chop down a forest. I will chop down a forest, just remove it like this. I will get a wood, and I will also be able to construct. Now when constructing, I construct any of these buildings. If we zoom in a little bit, I might have it right here. There we go. There's a cost right here to the left here. So you can see if you want to buy this building, it costs 5 wood. They're like sorted in categories. So you can see the top row relates to bricks, the next one relates to woods, and so on. And they're also sorted in the columns. This column costing 0 glass, this column costing 1 glass, and this column costing 2 glass. You can also see there are different colors on the buildings. There are blue buildings. They give an ability that you can use, or a conversion ability that you can use during your turns, like this cooperage. You can pay 2 wood in order to get 3 water. You can do that any number of times during your turn. There are these sort of beige colored buildings. That's the one-time abilities, and the red orangey ones are permanent abilities you can use during the game. For example, this one says when you remove a forest, you gain a water. Right. So I have actually let me just zoom out a little bit. Now on this tile that I've chosen, I get also a wood, and now I get to build something, and I have got my eye on this sawmill. Now let's check it out. This sawmill, it costs 2 glass, 2 brick, and 2 wood, and then I can chop down a forest in order to get 3 wood. Now that is quite nice. There's an action spot out here that does something similar. That gives me 4 wood, so this one is not quite as good, but this one is worth points, and also it saves me an action, so I don't have to take that as an action. So I think I will build this building. It costs 2 glass and 2 bricks and 2 wood, and I build this building. I will put it right there. There's no scoring during the game. There's only in-game scoring. So so all the points are tallied up at the end. So maybe I'll just move this a little bit. There we go. Right, now what do we want to do? Now we could produce some more glass. Now we're gonna have to produce some provisions at one point, because we need provisions in order to travel around the board. So for provisions, we could take a cow. Now cows can be living here. They're not worth any points if they stand here, but if I have an enclosure like this, a pasture I think it's called, then they are worth points. And of course I can always go to the butcher and get some meat for them. But I think I might actually should just get one, and up here we can get some cows as well. But I think I would love to get some cattle. Now, Let's place the white one, because usually, of course, like I said before, if you place a worker in a village where there's a worker present, you have to pay a resource, but not when I play the white one. So I think I will go here, take a cattle and place it right there, and I will also get some more sand. So that's 3 more sand for me. There we go. Right, so what is next? We could go back, get some porridge. That would get us some of these resources. That could be quite nice, actually. Of course, I have to pay resources, and I'm not all about paying resources. So let's try to do something different. Let's go up here. Let's go to this village here. We will pay a provision, and with this one I can pay a charcoal in order to get 4 bricks. Now charcoal, I have 2 charcoal resources on the left and on the right rondel, and when I spend charcoal I can choose where I want to spend it. I can mix and match, so if I have to pay 2 charcoal I can pay 1 on each rondel, but when I gain charcoal I have to gain it on one of the rondels. I can't split them up. So I will pay 1 charcoal in order to get 4 bricks. Now bricks are pretty important in order to get the buildings, so you don't want to run out of bricks and charcoal. So let's get some charcoal, and then this tile says that I can get 2 of any resources, basic resources, and all the other players will get 1. But of course there are no other players here, so I will just get 2 resources of my choice. And I guess I will take some, I think we'll take some porridge. So 2 porridges, and then I get to produce a commodity and also 2 provisions. Now, as you might have noticed, I can just zoom in a little bit here. That's the wrong one. That's the right one. This one has an arrow, and eventually it will go down here and it will point to these stars, these point symbols. So when the game ends, I'll get that amount of points as the arrow points to it. Next time this arrow moves, I will go to this little marker, and then I will get 1 basic resource for free, and I will also start putting out these jobs. Jobs is another way of using your resources in order to get a lot of points. So, or at least get other resources. So that's quite nice. Right, let's zoom out here 1. There we go. And that is it. So what do I want to do? Now I probably would like some meat. Although this one is nice to have, but slaughtering for meat could also be quite nice, so that we can produce some more provisions. So I could go to the next village, and I actually think that I will maybe I should I go here, paying 1 provision of course, and I will slaughter this little cattle here and get 3 meat. This one will turn immediately, and now I have reached this little token here, so I get a basic resource for free. I think I will probably take, should I take a charcoal? Yeah, let's take a charcoal like this. And now it's time to get the jobs out. And I just have to check the rules, how it is when you play solo. How many jobs are coming out? Reveal 3 jobs instead of 1. Usually, yeah, you just reveal 1. Each player just reveals 1, but I reveal 3. So let's take the top one now. On these jobs, they have a little icon up here. This indicates where I have to place it. So this one has the mountain icon, so I have to place it right here. And it says, if I pay, I don't know if you can see it, if I pay 7 porridge, I gain a glass and a forest and a pond and a pasture and 3 pigs. So this one is quite nice. It also costs resources or provisions in order to go to these spaces out here. And now we have another one. This one is slightly different. It has a symbol of a tradesperson out here. This brick this brick guy, which is right up here. Here I can pay 7 wood in order to get 5 bricks, 4 water, 4 sand, and the glass. We will put this here in the village. So when I place a worker in a village, in this village, I can choose either to do the tradespersons, or I can fulfill the job, but not both. Right, the last one is paying provisions, and we will put that down. Oh, where's the symbol? It's right up here. There we go, paying provisions in order to get a lot of stuff. All right, that's nice. So I have used the one thing, but I have to use the other one as well. And maybe I can zoom in a little bit like this. There we go. I can also pay 3 bricks in order to advance my glass production. Now I have down here on my player board, I have my glass factory, and it can be upgraded. And if it's upgraded to the last spot, that's when I build a new estate with some new resources on it and some more room for buildings and stuff. So that could be quite nice. Here I have to pay 3 bricks. Quite expensive, but still it gets me 2 moves. So I think I will do that. I will pay 3 bricks and move those 2 up. Now, I think actually I will use my sawmill just to get rid of this one and get me 3 wood. So next time we get some water, we can produce more glass. Now, I have used all my workers. In the multiplayer game, you just go round and round and round and round until the game ends. But here, I go to round 2, and then I collect all my workers and I start all over. There we go. Now, when does the game end? The game ends when this dial, the one with the arrow, gets pushed far, far ahead, and one of my provision markers, one of the provision resource markers, is on this space or beyond. Then that triggers the end of the game, where every player gets 1 more round, and then the game is over. So right now it seems like there's quite a lot of time left, but there really isn't. Of course, here in the solo game, I play 5 rounds, which is set. But in the multiplayer game, then all of a sudden, somebody produces a lot of resources, and the game will end. Okay, let's see here. What do I want to do? Of course, I want to perhaps, now I'm pretty good at making wood, so I could go to this village and try to fulfill that that job. Now, I have several things that I can do in order to produce. I think I actually, because I need 4 more wood in order to fulfill that job, and I can get that by placing my worker here. Of course, I can also use this one just in order to get some wood. But what to do, right? I think we will place our worker here so we can use this field. Now, what I could do, I could spend a commodity to move this one away, exchange it with another tile in order to activate that tile. So is there anything other I would like to do? Perhaps getting some cattle could be nice. I also need some water, so getting water could be quite nice. I could move this one in actually in order to get some water. Oh, of course I will get the water from the job, so that's maybe not so so imminent. Well, I could use a commodity and trade this one with this one. There we go. Putting my worker here, upgrading my my glass factory. There we go, and getting a new estate. Now I'll just make a little bit of room and see where I have placed my estate somewhere in the box. Oh, there it is. This is a brand new estate, and it comes with 2 forests, and you take this card here, place it right here with the glass bead down here in the bottom. Now it has like a star here with a 2 in it, which means that this extra estate is worth 2 points. I'll just put this here, I guess. Yeah, and now my starter estate here can hold 2 more cattle. Of course, they're still not worth any points, but that's still quite nice. So I will cut down a forest in order to get 4 more wood. There we go. And then I will use my white worker, I think, in this space. Of course, I don't have to pay resources for that one. And then I will pay these 7 wood in order to complete that job. All right, let's check it out. These jobs are just worth the resources. They're not worth any points in themselves, but we like these resources that they're giving. That's 5 bricks and 4 water and 4 sand. Of course, we can't actually use all 4 of them. I can only use 3 of them, but that's okay. And 1 glass. All right. So I'm thinking I can put this somewhere. Just put it right here. And when you complete a job, you refill. You put out another job, and this one goes to the same place. This forest chopper guy. It gets you get 5 wood, 4 meat, and a cattle for fulfilling this job. Now, I am thinking that maybe I should produce some wood, because then I would produce more glass, and I can build some buildings, because almost all the buildings, they also need wood. So, but when I produce wood, I produce glass, but I have to produce more wood. But I can use this as many times as I want. So let's start by using it once. So, whoops, I will cut down this forest, gaining 3 wood, and there we go, producing some glass. Now you can see if I don't use this glass, the dial is stuck here. So even if I produce a charcoal, I can't move it because I'm not able to store more than 3 glasses. Right, so maybe we should take a look at the buildings and what we want to produce. Now, when looking at these buildings, of course, there are also building up over here that has to do with some of the more interesting stuff, cattle, pigs, pastures, and other kinds of resources. I kind of like this one. It says whenever I move this trade wagon guy here, I get to produce a porridge per field that I have. Well, that one is quite nice. I am also looking at this, the potash manufacturer, which gets me to remove this charcoal resource on the glass making wheel, so I don't have to worry so much about charcoal. Now that could be quite nice as well. So there's a lot of fun stuff. Let me just see what we should take here. Well, I have 3 glass, so of course the opportunity now is to use this glass. As we can see with these big buildings, they are quite expensive. This farm store is worth 5 points at the end of the game. It costs 3 glass, 3 brick, 3 wood, and 5 porridge. And you also get 2 extra points per meat you have at the end of the game. I'm not quite sure if this is yet. Well, this inn could be quite nice actually. If we look at this inn, it lets me convert 2 two water into a porridge, and then I'll get an extra point per porridge at the end of the game. And I actually can afford it, so maybe I should try purchasing this one. Right, it costs 3 glass and a brick, and oh, I don't have 2 wood, so I have to chop down this forest in order to get 3 more wood. There we go, and then paying 2 wood and paying a meat as well. I will place this up here so it's easier to see here. So now I can always buy some porridge. So I should probably start getting some more water so I can more easily buy porridge. So getting water is getting water is all the way down here, and my last worker was placed up here, so I have to pay 2 provisions in order to come down here, and maybe we could do something better first. I think actually we'll just go down here. First, I will pay a commodity to trade this for this, and then paying 2 provisions to come down here. 2 provisions, and I will get 1 water per pond, or I can pay a brick in order to build another pond. But let's just take the 3 water. There we go. And here I can spend a wood to get a pasture, so there I have something to move my animals into so they can score some points. Now these pastures, they can either have 3 pigs or 3 cattle. They can't have both. I think I'll just place it down here actually. You can just about see it there. So I should, maybe I should use this one in order to use 2 waters to get a porridge, because then I will produce some more provisions. Excuse me. Okay, so what do we want to do now? Now we want some more cattle, I guess. And cattle we can get up here. So we can get cattle and sand. Yeah, let's that could be okay. Getting charcoal is also soon a priority, so we could spend a commodity trading this one for this one, and then using our worker here, paying a provision, and getting a cattle. We will move it into the pasture down there, if you can see it, and I think we will get 2 charcoals. Yeah, let's get 2 charcoals and produce 8 glass. There we go. Right, so I have 1 worker left. The last one was placed here. So what should we do? We should probably we have what, 3 provisions left. So should we come down here again, maybe? Or yeah, we could come down here again and get some more water, but of course we don't really have any more wood. Now we're kind of short on wood, so we should probably, or we could focus on getting a new estate so we can plant some forest. There are no action tiles out here that can plant forests, as there I can't quite see if there are any buildings that can do that. No, so we have to get more estates. So we have to upgrade this this glass factory, and we could do that up here. That will of course cost some clay, but that could be okay. Let's move up here. It's a bit expensive. It costs 2 provisions. But for 3 clay we get to advance this one twice. There we go. And we also can get some meat or some porridge. So let's get some meat. I don't think we want to slaughter our cattle. Maybe we should just save those to get some points. So for 2 pawns we get 1 meat. Yeah, we should get some more pawns, definitely. Right, that was the last worker, so we collect them all again. And we go to round number 3. Right. If you're stuck, you can't get stuck in a village and you don't have any provision, so you can't travel away from the village. And the village that you're in doesn't have any means of producing the resources, or they're full if you're playing multiplayer. Then you can go begging. And begging is that you take your worker, place it in the middle of the village, and you will just get one provision. You don't want to do that, so we have to focus on producing some provisions. So we want to get some porridge and we want to get some charcoal. And getting charcoal without wood is quite hard. We can, I don't think actually we can, so we have to have a wood here. Excuse me. Right, so I think I think we actually have to place our first worker right here. So we get a cattle. There we go. And we get 2 resources, so we should probably get 2 wood. Right? So we can use the wood in order to get charcoal. Yeah, let's do that. Let's place our next worker down here, costing our last provision. But for 1 wood, oops. There we go. For 1 wood, we get 4 charcoal. There. And the other action tile here says that per cattle we get a porridge, and I have 2 cattle, so that is 2 porridges, and we produce again. Right, maybe we should actually get some more ponds. So using the white worker is placing it, so where should we place it? Where should we place it? We could now, do we want to spend in order to get... I think we'll actually go here. So spending a brick in order to get 1 more pond. Whoops. There we go. And we can spend a wood to get a pasture, but we can also just get a field. Now, wood is pretty scarce at the moment. So I think we will just get the field. There we go. We will pop that in right there. Okay. Right, so what do we want to do then? Now, it could be nice to upgrade this just once, so we can get another estate and get some more forests out there. Let's take a look at the jobs. Is there anything that we can use? Well, there is this one, which actually costs us 2 provisions. We get to upgrade this. Oh, I actually forgot to upgrade this one. I can see. That's a big no-no. There we go. So if I upgrade this, I'll get some more space. I'll also get some stuff, but then I'll be stuck up here without any... Oh, I have 1 provision left. So that is actually quite nice. No, of course I have to pay 2 provisions. So we have to get some more provisions. We have to get some meat. Yeah, so where do we get the meat? I think we will actually travel. Where should we travel? Let's start by using a commodity. If we use a commodity, we can exchange this one for perhaps this one. And we can place a worker up here, costing 2 provisions. Then we have none. But we gain, because we have 4 pawns, we gain 2 meat. There we go, producing some more. And I get 2 other resources, so that could actually be porridge. So we can produce some more. I think we will do that. There we go. So now we have 4 provisions. Now, could we get just 1 more would be nice. Because it costs 2 provisions, right? 2 provisions to travel up here. And then we will spend our last provision doing that. So we could actually do something here. Now we could, with using a commodity, we could exchange this one. For this one, it doesn't have to be in another village. It can actually be from within the same village. So exchanging those two, placing a worker here, paying a resource, and it could be sand. We're not really short on sand. Then we could get 2 meat from this. 2 meat, producing like this. And we could, 2 more resources. Could be, what should we take? Should we actually take some wood, or we could take some we could actually take some brick. Let's take 2 bricks. There we go. So that is the end of that's the end of round 3. So we take our workers back. There we go. And we go to round 4, and as you can see here, I don't know if you can see the small symbol on the board. Now we have to shovel up these action tiles, because when you're playing solo, you don't really you don't really exchange that many tiles. You of course exchange more tiles when there are more players. So we take all of these tokens, the jobs, we will just leave them where they are, and we take all these and we shuffle them up like this. You can see here the different backgrounds, very, very beautiful backgrounds here. We just shuffle them up a little bit, and then let's just start here. Say put down one on the mouse and on the fox, on the owl. There's no owl here, so we go on to the next one, the next owl, and the fox, and so on, and we get quite a nice spread on these action tiles. There we go. There and there. The mouse is there, and then a fox and a, I don't know what that is, reindeer, and then owl. There we go. So everything has been mixed up, but I think we really want to, let's just take these workers over here. I think we really want to do this job, because now we have 6 provisions and we can pay these. So I will take a worker and put it up here. And doing this job, paying 2 provisions, I think actually I will take 1 of each of these. I get 2 advancements on my factory. 1, I get a new estate. We put that right here. We put the factory over on this one. Reset it, and I got 2 bumps, so I take the last bump now. We also get forests on these. Whoops, there we go. Now, what else did this job say? So I plant a forest. Nice. And I get a pond. Very nice. I get 2 fields. 1, 2 fields. I get a pasture. There we go. Now my board is beginning to fill up here. Now, you can always throw out a, what can you throw out? You can throw out a pond or a field or a pasture. Always. That's like a free action. Not the forest. You have to use actions, or in my case the sawmill, in order to get rid of the forests. Now, that was a job. Let's just put it here and reveal a new one. This one goes to the middle, and it says 5 water to get a provision and build a small building for free. Now that seems very nice. So we should probably get some water. And where do we get water? Of course, as far away as possible. Well, it's 2 provisions, so we could do that. We could do that. I think we actually, first of all, I think we want to chop down this forest, don't we? Then again, isn't there a job? There is this job where we can chop down 3 forests, getting 5 wood, which is not a lot. I mean, I could get 9 wood from using my sawmill, but we get 4 meat, and we also get a cattle, and cattle is good for getting more porridge. So that might not be a bad idea. So let's try that. Let's just go, where should we go? Here. And do this job. Oh, did I take a new one? Oh yeah, of course I did. Yeah. So we are going to chop down 3 forests. 1, 2, and 3. Let's see if this one. Let's see if this is a good idea. So we get 5 wood. That's nice. And we get 4 meat, and we get a cattle. Now we have 3 cattle. That's perfect. And we put this in the job pile, and we reveal a new one, which is at the worker with the knife, and it's right here. Paying 5 meat in order to get a lot of different resources. We can actually use this. We can actually get 5 meat. But do we get any of the other resources? Yeah, it might be nice. It might be nice. Okay, so we have 3 workers left this turn, and what do we want to do now? We have 2 glass, so we definitely want to build some buildings. Now we could get charcoal more, so we could get 1 more glass in order to get the big buildings. So that could be quite nice. Now you can see that, like I said, there are 40 buildings, and when you play solo, I mean, you don't really build that many buildings. Of course, during the multiplayer game, a few more of these buildings are being built, but each player doesn't really build that many buildings. Of course, I could build some more than I've done now, but yeah, but you don't build tens of buildings, right? So, so what do I want to do? Do I actually want to? So I want some more charcoal, and getting charcoal is actually over here in the same village. So we could use that. I don't actually think I spent that provision going to the village. So let's just do that. Did I? I don't think that I did. I don't want to be cheating, so let's just pay a provision. Now, what do we want? We want some more charcoal, and should we just place our worker here? Perhaps paying a wood in order to get 4 charcoal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Producing a glass, and then I can spend a wood for a pasture. Or of course, I could just take a field. I think I'll just take a field, because I think we're gonna need those 3 wood there building a building. Right. So what do we want? We want perhaps to should we actually take this job? That's definitely a possibility. I think we want some water. We want some water and some porridge, because getting water and porridge gives us point at the end. Every porridge is worth a point at the end of the game. So let's go here. That costs a provision. There we go. Oh, if this was a multiplayer game, I would now trigger the end of the game already, but it's not, so we will just carry on. We will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 water. There we go, 5 water. And of course, we can't produce any glass because we already have 3. And we will get 3 porridge because we have 3 cattle, right? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now I think it's time to look at these buildings. We can build here and up here. Going here, have to spend 2 resources. We really don't want to do that. So is there anything else that's fun to do? Maybe we should actually just should we just take this this job down here? It will get us a lot of resources, which would produce a lot of stuff. So sure, let's do that. Let's go down there. And for 5 meat, we produce 5 wood and 5 sand and 5 porridge. We get 4 charcoal. I think we will get this charcoal here. And 3 provisions. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, quite nice. Let's look at the next job. This one goes to the little money bag guy, which is right here. Where you can pay 3 fields in order to get 2 pastures and a lot of animals. Animals are quite nice because they are worth points when they're in the pasture. So round 5 already. I mean, it actually goes pretty quick, this game. You want to do a lot of things, but you really have limited turns here in the solo game. So it's exciting how many points I actually get to score in this game. Well, so should we take this job? Yeah, I think we should. I think we will place a worker somewhere, which might be here. And then complete this job, pay 3 fields. Let's chop those fields down. And getting 2 pastures. Now, pastures in themselves are not worth any points, but if we start to fill them up with animals, they will score some points. And we get 2 pigs. Let's use them here. Now, if you didn't have any pastures, you could place the cattle on these spaces, and I don't think I have explained this forest. There's actually a space for one pig on each of these forests, but ideally you want to cut down those forests in order to get resources. So that's 2 pigs and 2 cattle. There we go. Getting more points. Perfect. That was this job, and we will reveal the next one, which is this village symbol, which is down here. You can pay 7 bricks in order to get a lot of resources, but I think we will hold off on the jobs for now, because we have to build. We definitely have to build. We should probably use the white worker and place it here. Now, we want to build, of course, but do we want to exchange this one first? You have to do that first. Do we actually want to use a commodity in order to get something else in here? I think we actually might. So if I spend a commodity, we can switch it for this one, getting us some more meat, right? Because if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pawns, that's 2 meat. Yeah. So when we use the provisions, we produce some more. We get some more points per the dial down here. Right. And then we should build. And what should we build? What should we build? Now, we could use this general hospital. That's worth 10 points. Costs a lot of resources, but I think we actually have all of them. Now, we could also take this smokehouse. Now, it's only worth 5 points, but we get 1 point per pawn, and having 5 pawns already gives us a 10 points, so this is potentially more points, and it's not as expensive with the resources. So let's build this one. That's 3 yeah, 3 glass. So I now am able to move this, but I have to spend all the resources at once. I don't spend a glass and then it moves. I have to spend them all at once, I think. Uh, and if I don't, I can just finish by spending the glass, right? So I spend 2 bricks and 3 wood and a field. Out with you. And 3 glasses, whoops, and then I produce, magically I have 3 glasses again. Right, so the smokehouse, we will put this right here. Perfect. Now it says in order to construct it, I have to have minimum of 3 ponds, but of course I do that. Alright, that's the smokehouse. So, what should we do now? I think we should probably get some clay. So if we use a provision up here, there it is, we would get a cattle, that's another point, and we can spend a charcoal in order to get 4 clay. Now, the reason I'm thinking about this clay is because I'm thinking about building this building, the village church, which gives you 4 points, but it gives you 1 point per adjacent empty space on the estate. The estate is just one of these boards, so I can place it here and it will automatically give me 3 more points, so that's 7 points. So that's quite nice. So I just need 1 more wood in order for this to work. And of course to build. So what I could do is spend provision, move this one up here, or spend a commodity, right, and then spend a provision in order to move to this village, getting 2 wood and building with this tile, building this building, which is 2 glass and 3 brick and 2 wood, and place it right there. Yeah, per adjacent empty space on this estate. Now all the buildings are explained in this in the rules, which is quite nice. So this one is 36A. I just want to check that it's only that it's not diagonally. 36A, horizontally or vertically adjacent to this building, right? So definitely we want to put it right there. Of course, it says on this estate, so it's only this board. All of my player boards together are called my domain. And there's this night manor, which gives me points for each empty space in all of my domain. But I don't think that's very good right now. So, we actually only have 1 worker left. And what do we want to do with this worker? Now, we have maxed out on the porridge, which is pretty nice for this building. We could get a pond, would get us 1 more point. Yeah, so what could, where did we place last? It was right here. So what should we do here? Where can we get some animals? We can get animals down here, actually paying brick and water. That's not bad. That is not bad. So I can actually 1, 2. If I put this down here, actually, I will have to pay 2 basic resources. Let's just pay the sand. And we will pay a water and a brick, and then we will get a cattle and a pig, which is great because there's room for a pig here and room for some cattle right there. And we can actually also build a building. Now, can we build a building without any brick and only 1 wood? Let's check it out, see if there is anything that makes sense. It doesn't really look like it, so... Well, actually, we could use this fort. Now, this fort, it says, it costs as many bricks as there are other players. Playing solo, there's no other players. So this one will actually just cost a glass. no bricks, and 1 wood. And then it'll give me 3 points. Right? And that is the end of the 5th round. So we now have to just score some points. Now, this game comes with this very, very small player aid. What you can do in your turn, and if you turn it over, you get the scoring categories. Now, I believe it is actually this scoreboard that you use. Remove the buildings, and there we go. There is the scoring. So I'll just take the blue one, and let's start by following this. Now, you get 1 point per glass. Now, I don't have any glass left, so that is 0. You get as many points as the dial where the dial is. The dial is here at 7. No, it's not. I have to produce like this, so it is actually on 8. So I get 8 points. 8 points, there it is. Then I get 2 points per estate that I have built. That's 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4 points. I get 1 point per animal that's on a pasture, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points. And then I will just get points for my buildings. Now let's just start with the raw points. Let's see here if I can zoom in a little bit. Will that have everything? Yeah, I think it will. So that's 2 plus 5, that's 7, that's 10, that's 14, that is 19. Okay, let's just start with that, 19. Now that has to be 1 back and then 20 up. So 20 up is 41. And then there are extra points on some of the buildings here. The inn says 1 point per porch. I have 6 porches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 porches. This one says per empty space, adjacent empty space on this. That's 1, 2, 3 points. 1, 2, 3 points. The smokehouse says 1 point per pond. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. I think actually that's it. Yeah. So in total we have 55 points. Now in a multiplayer game, I think this will be quite nice. This is actually quite a good score. But let's just see what the solo rule says. The solo rules here says if I am a good player or if I should have some more practice. Let's just see here. If I have at least, this is like beat your own score type of thing. If I get 50 points, I become master builder. Not bad. If I get 60 points, I am the glass hut master, and if I get 70 points, I will be the duchess. So master builder, well, that's quite nice. So that is that's Black Forest for you. A great game. I mean, I love Uwe Rosenberg's games, and this one just is a sweet spot for me. It's worker placement, resource management, a bit of a tableau building. Yeah, resource management with this wheel is a lot of fun. Yeah, absolutely enjoy this and really enjoy this solo. So thank you very much for watching, and of course subscribe to the channel so you get notifications when I post a new video. I post videos in English and also some in Danish, but maybe if you want to learn Danish you can catch my videos. So thanks for now and bye.